Hello, my loves, it's Liz Ann here. And today I just wanted to pop in and do a quick video to encourage you and inspire you during this very difficult time that we are currently in, the political upheaval that we are all finding ourselves a part of. One of the things I remember to tell myself is that big changes are underway, and we are a living part of history, things that are going to go down in history. It's also a very difficult time that we are in right now, with so much upheaval on every turn and so many people out there not knowing for sure who to believe and who not to believe, and people digging their heels down in things just because they feel like they have to be anchored somewhere and not really being able to be reasoned with. And it's causing a lot of war energy, not only out there in the political world, but even within our own families and friendships and homes and communities. There's this war energy that is being festered and pulling, and just like it's like a whirlpool, and it's just pulling people into it, and people are getting angrier and angrier, and some of us don't even know exactly where we're supposed to be directing this anger. We just see that there's a lot of things going on that aren't good, and that it's causing our whole country to be vulnerable. And that's scary. And we have a lot of other countries that are watching the whole scene that's going on in America right now and how it's going to play out. And many of them are very scared as well, because America is an icon. America is, we're the Statue of Liberty. We are a place of freedom, and a place where people have always believed you could feel safe and feel accepted, and feel like you have opportunities that some other places in the world don't have, other liberties that they may not have. And we really have this pivotal time in history that, depending on the way it goes, is going to change the rest of history for better or for worse for years to come. So I just wanted to come on here really quick and just acknowledge that we are in this together, whether we like it or not, and whether my next door neighbor is in it with me, whether I agree with them or don't agree with them. So what are we going to do? Are we going to hate each other and kill each other over these things? Or are we going to find more positive ways to come to an understanding, to see what the truth is? One of the quotes that come to me often, having been somebody that was born into and lived my life so much in fear and being controlled by fear, one of the quotes that stands out to me often is President Franklin D. Roosevelt's quote, in which he said, "There is really nothing to fear but fear itself." For myself, I have found that fear is the ultimate deceiver. When I am coming from a place of fear, I cannot think clearly. When I make decisions out of fear, I am not making decisions that resonate with who I am inside, which is love at my core. So fear is the only thing truly to be feared. And so we need to check ourselves when we are taking action, when we are posting things on social media platforms or pulling ourselves out of platforms, which I've done some of this. So I'm speaking from my own experience here. Okay, so we need to check ourselves, and we need to say, am I reacting? Because that's what we are doing when it comes from a place of fear. We are reacting rather than responding. So one of the best things to do is to stand still. When you find yourself in fear, to stand still and to calm your fear. And so I'm going to give you 8 things that you can do right now, where you are right now, to start raising your vibe back up from a place of fear. Because again, fear is I think it is like the lowest vibe you can be in. Okay, so it's not a place to make decisions. The first thing you need to do when you're in a place of fear is you need to deal with the fear, and you need to bring those vibes back up. And sometimes it's not just facing fear and fighting it, right? Sometimes that's not going to be the ultimate answer. That's just going to worsen it. Sometimes it's pulling away from it, closing out the thing that we fear, so that we can start calming down and thinking more clearly. So number one, and the most crucial step, is tune out and turn off everything that's going on out there. And this is going to be the most difficult step, because when you're in fear and you're not sure what's going to happen, you're going to constantly be checking your Facebook, your Instagram, the news, what's going on now. You're going to be constantly checking that, almost obsessed with that when you're in a place of fear. So in order to start pulling back from the fear so that you can be in a place to respond with a clear head, you have got to tune out, especially when you are in a place where there's so many opinions, so many things that people are saying, well, I've got evidence on this end, and the other end, I've got plenty of evidence on my end too. And it's just colliding. You've got to step out, you've got to tune out, and you've got to find a place of stillness. There used to be a time in this world when we didn't have internet, there was a time we didn't have telephones, and news traveled a lot more slowly. And so people just were able to live their lives and then get news slowly and kind of digest things in little increments. But now we are bombarded with information constantly, and there are blessings to it, but there are also a lot of curses to it. And one of them is this, you getting caught in these whirlpools that spiral us down into negative feelings and warlike mentality and reaction state. And we're even so agitated that now we're snapping at our family members and unleashing all our anger on them, and maybe not about them, but even about what we're going through. And we're unleashing these energies all around us. We're now in the whirlpool of this. It's like an ocean, and we're sucked into that whirlpool now, and we're going down fast with that. And we have got to get out of that whirlpool. So the first, the most powerful thing that you can do is to tune out of social media. What I did is I deactivated my Facebook for now, and I didn't want to, completely shut everything down, but I want to get away from it. So I took the apps off of my phone, so I can't constantly just check in on it. The only thing I have up right now is YouTube, because that's part of my business and part of what I do. So I wanted to keep YouTube up, and it is a place where I have certain channels that I can go to get information on the current situation. But even then, I have to check myself, because I can start getting sucked back in again to the war narrative. The second thing is to touch nature. Go outside and touch your trees, or if you have plants inside, touch their leaves. Send the plants love and care. Water your plants, water your garden, put bird seed in the bird feeder. Find a little ladybug and let it crawl in your hand. Do whatever that you can to touch nature and to bring your senses back down to earth. Which brings me to number 3, which is be present. So with all this turmoil, we're up here and what might happen. We're back here and what has happened, and we are not present. We are just all in our head, and we're not really in the moment. And like, I can honestly say, at this present moment, I'm fine. I'm at peace. My home's at peace. Nature is singing outside. I have plenty of food. I have a roof over my head. I have clothes. I have family members that are safe. At this present moment, I'm safe and I'm fine. Is there threats out there? Always. Always. The only difference between now and before is the threat seemed further away because the narrative wasn't so loud and aggressive and strong as it is now. And so that's the only difference, but still being present in this moment is going to calm me down and make me realize there's so much to be enjoyed and to live for right at this very moment. Number 4 is to be sure to take care of yourself. It's so easy when things are getting like this to eat crappy, to quit exercising, to be so involved in everything that we're not getting enough sleep, not even just keeping up basic upkeep, much less enjoying things like painting our nails or doing our hair in a special different way, or finding a cute outfit that we really like, or coloring. Yesterday I colored, in a coloring book, a fairy coloring book that I enjoyed that. I did that with my grandkids. I played with my grandkids for half the day yesterday, and it was so fun. It was just so relieving of all this other turmoil that's been going on out there. So take care of yourself, take care of your emotions, take care of your body. Love yourself enough to turn off, to tune out, to be present, and to take care of you. Number 5 is check your fears. And I kind of already touched on this, so I don't want to go too deep again into it, but check your fears. What are you fearing? And ask yourself, what is the worst possible thing that could happen, right? Once you've gotten to that worst fear that is at the tail end of the worst possible thing that could happen, then ask yourself, what's the best possible thing that could happen? And even do some scripting where you write down what the best possible thing that could happen, how the best possible turnout could be. And then just determine, I'm going to cross my bridges when I get to them. Now, if you think of a bridge, there's so many different types of bridges. There's bridges over little creeks, and there's bridges over huge, huge canals and waterways. There's bridges that are firm that cars go over. There's bridges that are wobbly and crickety, and I think there's even a glass bridge. I've seen on social media pictures of it that would be terrifying to me. So that's really up high, but there's all kinds of bridges. And bridges can be scary. There can be broken bridges. How do we get over the bridge, right? Bridges can be scary. But am I going to think my whole life as I'm journeying along, what if I get to the bridge? And what if this happens at the bridge? Or what if I get to a bridge and there's a big one I can't get over? And what if, and what if? And the whole journey, I never look around me and I never see the beauty and the magic and taste my food and how good it is, and feel the breezes on my skin and the sunlight on my face, and listen to the chirping of the birds, and smell. Right now we have narcissisms. I always think it sounds like a narcissist.
Narcissus flowers. Anyways,
they are so fragrant. And I love to take time to go out there and touch them and smell them and to tell them,
thank you for being so beautiful and fragrant and just sharing with me like this. I just love to get into nature that way and to touch it again.
So check your fears and determine to yourself that you will cross the bridges when you get to them, rather than trying to cross them right now. Number 6 is to find humor. Watch shows that are funny or that feel good. Try to avoid series and shows that are apocalyptic and have a lot of aggression and that might stir up a lot of emotion, or keep that emotion, that warlike mentality moving in you. Find things that calm you, that inspire you into that better world that you scripted about. Find things that make you laugh, and find the humor in life, and practice smiling.
Just, really, I have to practice smiling. I can be a very sober person, so I have to practice smiling, and I have to remind myself. And I know when I think, oh yeah, you need to smile, Liz, and I just smile even to myself sometimes, I always think how good that just felt, just to smile. Even no matter how I'm feeling, it felt good to smile.
So find humor, smile, find reasons to be happy, and enjoy your life. Number 7 is about law of attraction. It's about putting new vibes out. So once you've already done those first 6, which are very important before you even get to number 7, then perhaps go out and sit down outside or in your favorite cozy place, grab a journal, grab a notebook, and script. What would my ideal world be like? And just have fun with it. What would it be like? What would the neighborhoods be like? What would I feel like? How would I interact with people? Who am I in this world? And how do I influence and inspire people in this world? And really script this so that you can start putting out the vibes for something better to emerge. Because as long as we're just redoing in our mind what is, what we're seeing, and we're talking about it, which I do, we all do it, right? But the more we do that and the more energy we put into that, we are putting it out there to keep going as it is. But if we can calm ourselves down and start really getting into the magic of creating a world, it feels good. For one thing, it just feels so freaking good to even do it because it puts your mind in a different state. But it also, you're putting new vibes out there. You're starting to slow that momentum of war mentality out there. So do some scripting. Number 8 is
something that I have said in many of my videos, but I always repeat it, and I tell everybody this because it has made such a difference. Simple little thing that has made such a big difference for me.
When I go to bed, when you go to bed, you're in bed, you're ready to go sleep, you kind of settle down, everybody's in bed, whatever, you're ready to sleep for the night. The mind starts going. Stop it and say, what are 3 things that went right today? And then scan your day and look for anything that you could say, this went right, that went right, that went right. And you'll find that a lot of times you're going to start thinking of more than 3 things, but ask yourself, what are 3 things that went right today? There may be days that you have to scramble a little harder for. It might be, oh, that meal I had out today was really good, that went right. Or I'm glad I have a car that worked that got me to where I need to go and back today, that went right. Or my conversation that I had with my spouse went right today. Whatever it is, what went right today? And focus on that. And then shut your mind down by just speaking to your body as you go to sleep and saying, from the feet up, you can start at the head up or the feet up. I usually start at my feet. And I tell my feet, good night. Thank you for carrying me throughout the day. I love you. I tell my legs, good night. Thank you for carrying me out the day. I love you. And I also relax them. Like I'm tucking them in. Relax. You can go to sleep now. You can rest. And I tell every part of my body, and usually I never even make it up to my head. So I want to end this video by putting up a few more quotes from President Roosevelt that I thought were pretty awesome. Thank you for listening to my video. I sure appreciate it. I hope it's been inspiring and helpful. I hope you have subscribed. If not, go ahead and subscribe, and then don't forget to hit the bell. And the reason everybody says
hit that bell is because if you don't hit that bell too when you subscribe, I'll never come up in your feed when I have a new video, or rarely. But if you hit that bell, you're letting YouTube know you want to know when you get on YouTube when I have a new video, and they will inform you.
And look for changes coming up on my channel. Positive, good changes.